Let's be honest for a second here. When you look at that cheap plastic bottle of neon green gel sitting on the bottom shelf of your local drugstore, you probably don't think, ah yes, an epic historical conqueror, right? You probably just think, well, I stayed at the beach too long and now I'm paying the price. It's viewed as this completely mundane, basic household commodity. But the reality? The plant inside that bottle isn't just some accidental weed we decided to squirt into a lotion. It is, quite literally, a biological glitch that humanity somehow managed to tame. Today on The Explainer, we're going to look at the incredibly strange biology and history of aloe vera.
Because look, most people blindly assume that every major crop sitting in their kitchen or medicine cabinet arrived there through this long history of brutal conquest. And, historically, they aren't exactly wrong. Think about how crops like cinnamon triggered literal global wars as empires fought for control of the spice trade, or how okra arrived on new shores through the horrific trauma of the Middle Passage. Our global agriculture is, unfortunately, largely built on force. Yet, aloe vera, it conquered the entire globe without a single drop of blood being spilled. It wasn't carried across oceans by invading armies, it was passed, literally hand to hand, by healers. It achieved global dominance purely through its undeniable utility.
Section 1. The Great Reproduction Glitch. Okay, let's dive into this, because to actually understand how it spread, you first have to understand why it shouldn't even exist in the first place.
The harsh biological truth is that aloe vera has a massive evolutionary glitch. It rarely reproduces naturally in the wild anymore. It has become so fundamentally dependent on human intervention that if we were to just, suddenly stop growing it, the species would likely disappear from most of the planet entirely. It functions very much like the seedless breadfruit. It has to be kept alive manually through cuttings because it literally lacks the biological tools to propagate on its own.
This brings us to a concept known as human-dependent evolution, which is almost ironic, really. Here we have this grand, globe-trotting conqueror of a plant, and yet it's completely, utterly dependent on us to simply exist. Without humans meticulously digging it up and replanting it generation after generation, the great conqueror completely falls apart. It requires constant manual maintenance.
Section 2. Armor of the Ancients.
Let's see how this builds. Because obviously our ancestors didn't take on this massive manual labor project just so we could have cute spa days thousands of years later.
They kept this glitch alive because it was a matter of hardcore, life-or-death desert survival. Tracing its journey, it all really started with Arabian travelers. In the brutal, unforgiving heat of the desert, these leaves were utilized as a biological vault. They held heavy water and this protective slime that acted as literal biological armor, a sun shield that kept human skin from blistering and burning in one of the most inhospitable environments on Earth. From there, it was carried along Red Sea maritime routes by healers who immediately recognized its value. And by the time it reached ancient Egypt, well, it had been elevated to legendary status. Pharaohs, most notably Cleopatra herself, used aloe vera in their daily skincare routines. They dubbed it the plant of immortality because it seemed to just magically preserve youth and heal damaged tissue.
I actually want you to seriously consider this scenario. If you were stranded in a blistering desert for a month, what would you choose? 10 gallons of water or a field of aloe vera? Be honest, most people would eagerly grab the 10 gallons of basic water, thinking they've made the smart choice. But those people would be missing the bigger picture entirely. 10 gallons of water runs out. A field of aloe vera? That is a self-replenishing survival pharmacy. It provides hydration, sure, but also a physical shield against the elements and immediate first aid for exposure. The ancients understood this. It's honestly a shame so many today wouldn't.
Section 3. Disarming the survival pharmacy. Because nature doesn't just hand over its most valuable treasures for free.
A survival pharmacy this potent requires a serious security system. Enter aloin. When you cut into a raw aloe leaf, you'll see this yellowish substance seep out. That is aloin, and it tastes incredibly bitter. It's essentially a biological lock, a defensive mechanism explicitly designed to punish any thirsty desert animal that tries to crack into the plant's water vault. It functions exactly like horseradish. Horseradish is completely flavorless right up until the moment it's attacked or crushed, at which point it releases a sinus-burning compound to fight back. Aloe's aloin is the exact same concept. Ancient healers knew they had to bypass this bitter chemical lock if they wanted access to that so-called immortality gel inside. So they developed this specific manual hack. You cut the outer leaf, and then you have to painstakingly soak it in cold water to draw out all those yellow aloin toxins. Only then can you safely harvest the pure healing gel. It's a tedious, manual labor grind. Think of it like having to grate fresh wasabi to unlock its true flavor and heat. You simply don't get the reward without doing the work to disarm the plant first.
And this brilliantly illustrates the real genius of human ingenuity. Unlike standard succulents that just hold liquid water, aloe vera produces a thick, viscous mucilage. This slime is packed with heavy water and complex nutrients. But biologically, what is that slime actually for? Well, it's designed to instantly scab over and heal the plant's own leaves if they get torn by the wind or an animal. So when humans take that gel and apply it to a sunburn or a scrape, we are literally hijacking the plant's internal tissue self-repair system and using it for our own biological survival. We straight up stole its healing factor.
Section 4. The Maritime First Aid Stowaway. Once humanity figured out how to disarm those toxins and hijack the healing factor, this survival pharmacy was ready to travel. And it did so by becoming the ultimate maritime stowaway, a living first aid kit that doesn't need dirt to survive. This is exactly why aloe vera conquered the oceans. Because of its massive internal water stores, you can uproot this plant, throw it in the dark cargo hold of an ancient wooden ship with absolutely no soil, and it will survive the entire voyage. Healers carried it across the Mediterranean as a literal energy bank of healing. It completely mirrors how ancient sailors used the winter melon. The melon's waxy coating kept the water inside from rotting for weeks, making it a super reliable drinking crop at sea. While aloe was the medicinal equivalent, a living, breathing pharmacy sailing across the ancient world.
Section 5. The Ultimate Symbiosis. All of this incredible history brings us to a rather strange climax.
Over thousands of years, this dynamic of us carrying the plant and the plant healing us evolved into a deeply weird, permanent biological partnership. We took a rugged desert survivor and we completely tamed it. We selected the best offshoots, replanted them, and carried them into impossible, non-native climates where the plant had absolutely no business surviving on its own. We kept it alive indoors, in little pots, in freezing climates. Just like we selectively bred wild bananas over centuries to have fewer and fewer seeds until they became the entirely dependent, fleshy fruit we eat today, we fundamentally altered aloe's trajectory. It is now a permanent biological partner to humanity. It exists across the globe simply because we stubbornly refuse to let it go.
When you really step back and look at the whole picture, the perspective completely shifts. Forget the drugstore stereotypes for a moment. That mundane, dusty bottle of green gel sitting in your cabinet, it represents a millennia-old pact. It is a tamed desert survivor, a plant that protected itself with bitter yellow toxins, was revered by pharaohs as the literal key to immortality, and traveled across brutal oceans as a living first aid kit. And it achieved total global dominance without ever picking up a sword or firing a single shot.
To think that a plant fundamentally broken by a reproductive glitch, a species that absolutely shouldn't even exist without us constantly keeping it alive, somehow managed to become the single most peaceful conqueror in human history? Now that's absolutely wild.